Hello friends, my name is Toby and welcome back to the main event. We have another AEW pay-per-view coming up. I know there has been a lot recently, but this one is apparently the start of a new era for the company, also known as a very important tagline Tony Khan has to say in like every media scrum. But on Sunday the 1st of October, we have the very first AEW WrestleDream, a show Tony Khan has created to give love to recently deceased Antonio Inoki. We currently know 10 matches on the card and we are going to make some predictions today. If you have any predictions for the card, please leave them down in the comments and remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. But let's start off with a 2-title match as Eddie Kingston puts the Ring of Honor World title and the Strong Openweight Championship on the line against Katsuyori Shibata. I think this one's going to be very easy to predict. It's obviously going to be Eddie Kingston winning, but I think this could be one of the matches of the night. Eddie is obviously a huge fan of Inoki and Japanese wrestling as a whole. And if you didn't know, Shibata is Japanese and probably one of the pioneers of strong style wrestling. But Shibata's not going to be walking away with 3 titles. Remember, he is the Ring of Honor Pure Champion as well. So Eddie Kingston's winning this completely. Now for, at the time of recording, the only women's match on the card, and let's be honest, probably the only women's match we'll get on the card. Kris Statlander will be putting the TBS Championship on the line against Julia Hart. There is a great case for Julia Hart to win this match. I mean, she's currently undefeated. It's about, what, 25 or so matches she's won now. On the previous Dynamite, she beat Willow, so that probably made it 26 or more. Kris Statlander on the other side, though, is more than likely going to be winning this match. I mean, you can't keep these undefeated runs going all the time when a new superstar finally gets in the ring. We've had it with Jade, we've had it with Hook, and another person getting the standard, oh, I'm on an undefeated streak, I'm going to roll through the champion. Yeah, I don't think it cuts it this time. I think Kris Statlander's going to win here. I do think, however, Brody King's going to get quite heavily involved. Also, there is Mariah May apparently coming from Stardom, so she might be a good benefactor in this match as well. Next, a fatal 4-way tag team match where the winner will get an AEW Tag Team Championship match in the future whenever they want. We have the Young Bucks, the Guns, the Lucha Brothers, and Orange Cassidy with Hook. The favourites going into this is obviously Orange Cassidy and Hook. I mean, Orange has just come off that legendary run with the International Championship, and the little stories they're telling with Orange is kind of pointing that he's desperate for a title again, so he's going for the tag titles with Taz's son. Obviously, with Moxie's injury, the rematch between him and OC probably isn't coming anytime soon. When I look at who the champions are, obviously it's FTR, who come later in the show. They have fought 3 of these 4 teams quite a lot. The Lucha Brothers did a huge program with them. The Guns, one of the biggest tag team stories they ever actually did in AEW. And the Young Bucks, their rivalry is legendary. I mean, I even saw that match in London. Please go watch my vlog on All In. You can find it on the channel. So yeah, OC and Hook to win. None of the actual tag teams. Announced on the recent Dynamite, we have Ricky Starks taking on Wheeler Yuta. It's just a little grudge match. This isn't going to go anywhere further. Ricky's obviously going to have bigger matches with bigger people, but Ricky's got to win this one. I mean, he's been losing consistently recently. Yeah, a couple of tag team match victories, but I'm going to have to go with Ricky on this one because, you know, he's not exactly had a rivalry as of late where he's really come out on top. I mean, we could say about Punk, but Punk was gone. Punk got sacked before we even got a proper conclusion to the Ricky Starks story. I mean, he's already lost to Bryan twice, and Moxley's out, and Claudio, like I say, is going to be doing something. Giving Ricky a definitive win will keep that momentum going, and that's exactly what we need from him right now. Now for a 6-man tag that could potentially steal the show, we have the Don Callis family consisting of Will Ospreay, Sammy Guevara, and Konosuke Takeshita taking on Chris Jericho, Kota Ibushi, and Kenny Omega. Ooh! The last time Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega tagged up in a 6-man tag, I was there, and it was a sleeper hit of the night. Add in Chris Jericho, who is doing fine work at the moment. This could be a really solid team. Obviously, there'll be a bit of Jericho and Kenny nitpicking. I mean, let's be honest, if them two didn't have a fight at Wrestle Kingdom, we probably wouldn't have AEW right now. But on the other side with Don Callis, I mean, Sammy Guevara's there, and good on him. But you've got Takeshita, who is on a roll at the moment. Easily one of the best wrestlers in the world. And then you've got Ospreay, who, in my opinion, is the best wrestler in the world. This could be one of the best like tag matches we see this year. But I think this one goes to Jericho and the Golden Elite. I'm only saying this because Takeshita has had 2 victories over Kenny now. Ospreay's won a match against Kenny. Sammy's the odd one out, and I have no logic further from here. I just really want Kenny, Jericho, and Kota to win so we can kind of separate this whole thing so the Don Callis family can do something else. I've got no logic. Next, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships will be on the line in a 2-on-1 handicap match as champion MJF takes on the Righteous. When this originally got made to be a handicap match, I thought straight away the Righteous are winning here. Cole's out injured, apparently, and MJF, yeah, he could beat the Righteous, let's be honest, but they're quite vicious little blokes, aren't they? And Vinny's a nasty, nasty little sod. But now, if you all saw the very end of AEW Dynamite, there was a little team beating up Jay White, wasn't there? And one of them was wearing MJF's devil mask. It blatantly isn't MJF. It's probably Adam. You didn't see his legs, so you didn't know if he was wearing a cast or not. With this, I think MJF may just pick up the win here with a little cheeky bit of shenanigans from a little team which he has no idea about. We're trying to make MJF a babyface here. If he knew about this, he would turn heel again. But yes, MJF to win, not necessarily clean. Hangman Page will be taking on Swerve Strickland. Oh, the build for this match has been okay. And then the other night on Dynamite when they had their little sit down, just one of the lines Swerve said just made it feel like, ooh. And that line was, what is a buckshot to a kill shot? And I went, I feel like Page winning here makes sense, but I'm not going to go for him because I like to be different. So I'm going to pick Swerve Strickland here. I think him winning will elevate him so far up the card. Plus he needs a win. He's kind of been led down that whole path of talk the talk, then when it comes down to the match, he just loses. He needs a big, definitive win. And Hangman Page is one of the stars of the company still, regardless what Swerve said about a lot of the problems with Hangman is quite correct. I think Swerve gets the win here. We run it back down the line and equal it all up. So, I don't know, you bring the third match on when one of them has a title, I guess. FTR will be putting their AEW World Tag Team titles on the line against Aussie Open. Let's get this out the way first. The tag team titles don't matter in this match, apparently. Aussie Open, when on Collision recently, were talking to Nigel McGuinness and didn't really say that they cared a lot about winning the tag titles. It was just about beating FTR. The last time they would have faced would have been exactly a year before at Royal Quest in London, where FTR got the victory, and Aussie Open at that point were being claimed as one of the best tag teams in the world, probably ever. But they even said they have not really been that tag team since. An Aussie Open win here would really elevate them and like solidify them as that tag team. I just really want to see a really, really good match. I just wanted to see a top tier 5-star banger from 2 of what I think are the best tag teams in the world. But as I've got to pick, I'm going to pick FTR. I think Aussie Open need to be established more as that team that could beat FTR, but at the moment, let's keep the titles on Cash and Dax. Mainly because nobody cares about these belts, apparently. Now, the last title match we're going to be talking about is for the TNT Championship, which Christian Cage has totally held for so long, going and putting it on the line against Darby Allin in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Oh, I don't want to see Christian lose this. He's probably gonna. I mean, the build has been for Darby to take the TNT title, or Nick Wayne. But let's pick Darby here, because Nick Wayne doesn't exactly seem to be getting over with everybody. Christian, however, is the best heel in the company. But Christian can still go in the ring, as proven on his runs recently, and he's still got the talk, and he can carry a division, which is exactly what they need for the TNT title, because it gets hot-shotted around too much. I really want him to win. I'm gonna pick him. I'm gonna pick Christian, because I want Edge to come and help him. Edge's contract's up in September. If this is on October 1st, it could happen. And I still think Darby doesn't really need a belt right now because he's off to climb Mount Everest next year, and we're not that far off. And finally, we have the dream match finally happening as Bryan Danielson takes on Zack Sabre Jr. If you don't like or understand technical wrestling, you're not going to like this match, let's be honest. But for those who truly understand where Bryan came from and how Zack Sabre Jr. is, this is going to be one of the best matches ever. Both men are top of the game. Both men can be classed as the greatest technical wrestler on the planet. But this is Bryan's final year also. If he didn't do the whole announcement on Collision that this could be his last year because his kid's turning 8, I'd say this could go either way. With the announcement, Bryan's going to win this. I can't really see Bryan losing any major matches until his retirement match, which we've still got a long while to go. Do I think Zack will be given a fair shot? Absolutely. He'll be made to look like an absolute star. The future Bryan, if you will. But Bryan needs to win here. I think he was always going to win when they were going to face at Forbidden Door last year. And he will now. Up the Bryan. And that will do it for my AEW WrestleDream predictions. If you have any predictions of your own, please leave them down in the comments. I would love to hear them. Also remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. I hope you all have a good weekend of wrestling because you've also got NXT as well. I'm just not doing predictions for that one. But I've been Toby King and I'll see you in the main event.